My name is Taja Dore, and right now I'm outside the McGuire Theater here at SUNY Old Westbury College, where legendary Eddie Palmieri and his quartet will be performing for us live. I got a chance to sit down with Eddie Palmieri a little bit earlier and find out a little bit more about his musical career.
My mother arrived in 1925. My father arrived in 1926. You had to come by freighters, and there was no cruise ships, which I took one in 1948 to go back to Puerto Rico. I met my grandmother. And my brother was 9 years older, Charlie Palmieri, and he was on the piano, and by 14 he was already playing professionally. And my mother put me on the piano between 7 and 8 years old. I was born 9 years later. She thought she'd never have another child, and I came out a blessing. But it was her who put us on the piano. In the years of the 50s, I played with different orchestras that my brother recommended me. And by 1961, I formed La Perfecta, which was 2 trombones, Mr. Barry Rogers, the genius, and Mr. Jose Rodriguez, and a wooden flute player called George Castro, and the singer was Ismael Quintana. And that orchestra blew everybody away for 8 years before it broke up in 1968. Recorded the composition called Azúcar Pa' Ti. 1965, it went into the national, not of the arts, but of the Congress, Congress of the United States. It's there forever, the composition, and I'm very, very proud of that. You know. And I won 10 Grammys, and I was nominated about 15 times, you know. And I won the first one in our genre in 1975. It took 17 years for NARAS to put us in category, and I won it. Then I won it again in 76, and since then I've won 10.
Love tonight's concert, outstanding. You know, been a fan of Eddie Palmieri my whole life.
I think it was very exciting.
He's an icon in the Latino community, and his performance was amazing.
It's very important, the message that we must give the young students, and by listening to our records, we expect them to extend on that. Like if that's a primitive, then you stylize the primitive, and then you modernize the primitive. But thank you very much for tonight.
Well, I for one had a blast tonight, and it's clear that an amazing time was had by all. I'm Taja Dore, reporting from the McGuire Theater for OWTV.